the West Bank Palestinian territories. There's been violence which has been witnessed in the region, and at least about 8 people have been killed in 2 separate incidents. Now, especially in the aftermath of the Gaza hospital that was bombed, that resulted in hundreds of casualties, anger is continuing to grow among the Palestinian people. They're questioning their own leadership and have accused them of inaction. The West Bank, remember, is administered by the Palestinian Authority, which is dominated by Hamas's rivals, Fatah, that is led by the 87-year-old Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. 13 days have passed and there is no end to the violence in Gaza, and people are demanding answers from the Palestinian Authority. After the Gaza hospital strike that claimed over 470 lives, the situation has gotten worse on the ground. Demonstrations have been witnessed across West Bank. People carrying Palestinian flags marched against the Israelis, blaming the Israelis for the airstrike on the Gaza hospital. Mahmoud Abbas, remember, has cancelled his meeting in Jordan with the American President Joe Biden following the hospital's bombardment. But as he returned to the West Bank, Abbas was greeted by hundreds of demonstrators who marched in Ramallah to express their anger and frustration. Clashes have erupted between the Palestinian demonstrators and the Israeli forces, who yet again have resorted and used this opportunity. The 5 Palestinians were killed in clashes with the Israeli forces in the Nur Shams refugee camp. Early on Thursday, 3 Palestinians, including 2 teenagers, were killed in a separate incident near the town of Shukhba in West Bank. Palestinians held a funeral procession on Thursday for the men who were killed by the Israeli forces in the West Bank. Remember, in the West Bank, there is no Hamas. But despite of that, what you witness is Israel killing some of the Palestinians in certain confrontations that have happened. In Ramallah, the family members and others gathered at the morgue to bid farewell to dozens of Palestinians who have been killed in the West Bank in this latest flare-up of violence. Meanwhile, the Palestinian authorities have claimed that Israel has launched a widespread arrest campaign in West Bank. At least about 120 Palestinians have been targeted. This includes members of the Palestinian Legislative Council, the leaders, the former prisoners who have spent years in Israeli prisons. According to Palestine's authority, the number of arrests has now exceeded 6,000 so far this year. The head of the Palestinian Prisoners Affairs Authority has said that those who have been incarcerated in Israeli prisons face inhuman punishment such as starvation and thirst. Now, we earlier spoke with Mr. Elijah J. Magnier. He is a war correspondent and an analyst. He joined us live from Brussels and shared his inputs on this development of the violence that has broken out in the West Bank part of the Palestinian territories. Listen in.
But the Palestinian Authority is not able to provide security to their citizens in the West Bank because the Israelis have the authority to break in any camp, as you have reported earlier on, arrest 120 men and kill the other 5, and then they can pull out whenever they want, and there is no accountability. So President Mahmoud Abbas is in a position not to protect the citizens that under his control and cannot offer security for them. The Palestinian Authority is not able to protect the Palestinians in the West Bank, cannot take control of Gaza, even if it is offered, because at the end of the day, Israel, under the title of it has the right to defend itself, can go anywhere it wants in any Palestinian camp, can cut the water, electricity, cut the money on as did with Mahmoud Abbas in the West Bank.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.